Now, it feels like Ian Lewison has been away, but the truth is that he's not. The Brixton heavyweight has been a contender in waiting for, a good few years. He turned pro in 2009 and has fought 6 times, 2 times each year. 2009, twice, 2010, twice, and 2011, twice. And I think it's fair to say that it is time now to get serious, time to fulfil the early promise, time to fulfil all the bold talk from when he first turned pro after his decent or good amateur career. Anyway, he fights again on Saturday at York Hall, and it's a delight and a pleasure to welcome him to the BBC London 94.9 show. It's Ian Lewison. Ian, first of all, it is true, isn't it? It does feel like, to me and to other people I've spoken to, it feels like you've been away, but you haven't. You've had 2 fights all 3 years you've been pro.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've just been really inconsistent and not getting fluently active. I haven't been active, yeah.
Yeah, because it's 6 fights, 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. What do you put that inconsistency down to, apart from just being, I don't know, just not having enough concentration? Is it as simple as that?
Well, it's down to everything. It's down to training, down to management. It's down to not having a proper plan. It's just down to all them inconsistencies.
And they all get together, they conspire, and they work against you. It's not easy, is it, when you turn pro? People seem to think that, especially if you're half a name coming out of the amateurs, that you turn pro and you had the easy life for 2 or 3 years. It's not that way, is it?
No, because I've heard people say before it feels like it's a different sport, and in all honesty, when you do turn pro, it seems like it is. It seems like you're going into something that you thought you knew, but then when you're actually in the professional game now, you realise it's something you don't know. It's just totally different.
Now, you waited a good few years before turning pro. Do you have any regrets about turning pro? Certainly in that first year, let's say 2009, 2010. Did you consider maybe going back to the amateurs?
Yeah, I was always debating that, always thinking in my mind whether I should go pro or go amateur, but then I thought to myself in the end, you know what, I'm going to try the pro.
And what, over the last few months then, obviously you're fighting on Saturday night at York Hall on the Steve Goodwin show. What is it then over the last few months that's changed your attitude, that's made you more focused, that's made you sort of, for want of a better expression, knuckle down and get serious?
No, but the truth of the matter is, when I initially turned pro, I was told by people, whether I was handled by and the management and everything, I was with, we get you this fight, we get you that fight fell through, this one fell through, and it's like, through all of that disappointment, you end up, I don't know how to explain it, it's like, when you're supposed to have a fight and then the fight doesn't happen, it's like you sabotage yourself, because you go out on a binge, you eat a lot, and then it's like, do you know what, let me put on a stone. And then you put on a stone, then you hear you got another fight, you go out, you lose that stone, then you get disappointed that fight don't happen again, then you end up putting on another stone. It's just...
Yeah,
it's been happening like that, yeah.
As you say, sabotaging yourself, because that's not good for anybody, is it?
Yeah, it's not at all, no. So now I've just realised, you know what, regardless if it didn't happen now, I ain't going to sabotage myself in the sense of going away, binging, putting weight. I'll just keep a regular base weight, and then by the time I hear I've got a fight, all I've got to lose is a few pounds or a couple of kilos at most.
Which, of course, is what someone should have been talking to you about, we're all geniuses now, but someone should have been talking to you in 2009 and telling you that, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should have been talking about that, but the thing about it is you hear people telling you that, but it's like you don't take notice of it until you've actually been there and gone through it yourself. Even though a person can tell you, oh, don't do that because you're just hurting yourself, you're like, oh, whatever. And it just so happens that it's one of them lessons you don't learn unless you actually experience it for yourself. Yeah,
and there is no finer way to learn than from making mistakes and rectifying them. That's the absolute truth. You're still young. You're still young in boxing years, and you're certainly not bashed up, bruised, swollen, and used up. But I think it's fair to say you've got a bit of catching up to do with guys that, in 2009 would have been on a par with you. You know, guys like Tyson Fury, guys like Derek Chisora. You know, they've gone from being around the same as you fight wise and everything to being, you know, in front of you in every which way, simply because they stayed slightly more focused. And does that motivate you, Ian, knowing that those guys that, you know, you're on a par with all those guys, right?
Yeah, because at the end it gives me something to aspire to, and it gives me somewhere to aspire to get to.
Yeah, and they are names that I think you can gate crash. Obviously, David Price is out there, the British champion at the moment, and I think I really do. Dillian White, the young kid out there, game, tough, brave, but inexperienced. That certainly, in the boxing business, these are all fights that once you've shown to yourself, as you say, a little bit of self-healing. Once you've shown yourself, these are all fights that could happen for you, or should be within your grasp within a year or so.
Yeah, I honestly believe so, but I don't think within a year. If I feel like at the end of the day, if I have a couple consistent fights over a course of 4 months or whatever, then I can take that transitional period and go up and fight a higher caliber of opponent. So I don't really see it as a year.
Good.
I think it would be a year if it was a sense of like me just turning pro now and getting used to the whole difference in a minute again on top of it. And now, but with the sense that I've been around, sparred with so many, I don't honestly believe it'll take a year. Good.
Well, listen, I tend to agree. Now, the key is, always, even when you were still an amateur, then certainly when you turned pro, it was always a bit of a thing that you had lots of people with you. You had a bit of a swollen entourage, lots of people floating in and around with you. And you've said yourself, there are all sorts of people talking. Have you, the older you've got, the wiser you've got, or hopefully the wiser you've got, have you limited that entourage? Are you down now to a couple of close friends and trainers that you can, that you trust a lot more?
Yeah, do you know what? In all honesty, when I was in the amateurs and I was knocking everyone out, and then you're getting all people around you coming up every day, you when you get in that sort of environment now, you believe in that everyone around you is there to help you and they're there for you. And it's like, as in when your career goes on now, then you lose a fight or you may not be fighting as consistent, your name's not being called so much, all of a sudden, them people that were there
they're gone.
No longer there when you're calling them. You think to yourself, what, they're busy today, where normally they're the ones calling you, then all of a sudden you're calling them and you're thinking, where are they? So it just made you realise, it's just made me realise, and at the end of the day, in all honesty, what were they initially bringing to the table? So at the end of the day, it's just a small circle of people that I need in this game that are bringing something to the table. Yeah. And those are the people that I'm going to associate myself with.
Yeah, all those people making promises, man. There's no sport like boxing for people whispering in your ear when you're going to the ring and when you're coming from the ring, making your promises. There is no business like it in the world, man.
That's the truth, isn't it? Everyone's your friend when you're winning.
Hey, listen, Ian, it's been absolutely a delight talking to you this week on both shows.
Sorry, Steve. So would it be possible if I can just say, if anyone wants to catch up on anything, they can Twitter me at Ian Lewison?
Of course you can. It's straightforward. Yeah. Is it IANLEWISON? It's at Ian Lewison.
Yeah, we've got competition running where they can win prizes, win tickets to fights and stuff on there. So if they want to log on and follow me, they can do, and also win lots of different things. Well,
I tell you what to do, Ian. Also, if you send me a tweet, I'm at Big Daddy Bunts, right, and I'll whack it out to the people that are following me. That way, is another way to get them to get in touch with you.
Okay, then I will do. Yeah, or they could Facebook me, Ian Lewison. Yeah, to keep up track on what's going on. Yeah.
Listen, Ian, enjoy yourself on Saturday night. Stay in touch, and I'll speak to you soon. Ian Lewison, thanks very much.
Thank you, Steve.